I'm with you on that. I think pumpkin pie is garbage.
Yeah.
And the people who enjoy it are garbage people.
We said it? What? And we
I
meant
said
it.
what I said. Welcome to A Work in Progress.
A work in progress.
Aisha.
With eyes on fire, I'm blinded to the sun. My senses tell me my day is never done.
It's a work in progress.
Ooh.
I went for it today.
You know, that might be the best one yet.
I mean, I'm going to get my $3 this week.
I mean, it's Mariah Carey season almost. I could tell you're like getting ready to
I've been doing
to
my
bust
vocal
out
warm-ups.
some.
Me.
You did. What's good? This is a part of the show where we shout out something good that is happening in the world, in our lives, in the universe. I don't know. Aisha, do you have a what's good?
Can I just tell you, I always have a what's good, but here's one that really hit me today. So I grew up in Winnipeg. My parents worked a ton when I was a kid. They're both finishing their PhDs. They tried their best, but they weren't around a lot. And I went to an after school program at my school, Victor Major. And the head of the after school program, her name was Marguerite. Okay. And she was like the principal of the after school program. And she was the absolute bomb. Okay. And I don't say this like, oh, she was like so cool and hip. I mean, like, she was stern and loving and kind and empathetic and like really, she was just like exactly what you need as someone who's going to lead like a group of wily, crazy gang of kids, And she was one of my favorite people. I was a little lying piece of crap when I was a child. I used to lie all the time. I was very cute, so I got away with a lot, but I used to lie all the time, and I would be mischievous and I would get into stuff. And my parents were gone a lot. So I had this, I feel like I was acting out because I had this kind of like hole in my heart where I needed like a parental figure who was going to be there as a consistent person. And this is no shade on my parents. They are brilliant people who really did what they needed to do for our family. But she was this like shining light in my life that was kind of like everything I needed that I was missing. And that was just every day before school, after school, at lunchtime, she was there. She was the one when I got in trouble. She was the one who would be like, you can't lie. You got to take responsibility for what you've done. And then I would bawl and she would like put me on her lap and give me a snuggle. And then we would just like chat and it would be okay. She's the kind of person who taught me that like, it's okay to make mistakes, but you have to take responsibility for those mistakes and you're still lovable. So this is all when I was like, I went to that school from kindergarten to grade 4. Okay. So not that long. That's 5 years. I am still in touch with her and still like send her pictures of my kids. Like, I think I invited her to my wedding. She's just this person who has been this like everlasting kind of pillar in the making of who I am. And she emailed me to tell me that she retired after 38 years of being the head of this after school program. And this is actually one of the things that when I thought we were recording at 10 and then I realized it was 11, I wrote her back and legit, I'm like, I'm glad we weren't recording until now because I was bawling for like 20 minutes just being like, you like made my life and you were the person who like filled the hole in my heart and all this stuff. And so now Jonathan and I are going to Winnipeg to do our show. And I was like, if you're available, I really want you to come to the show. And I've got your name with a +1 on for the day. And she's come to every show I've done in Winnipeg since we've been back in touch. But anyway, my shout out is to Marguerite Lambert, who recently retired from the Winnipeg Victor Major After School Program. And she is a legendary childhood education leader, in my opinion, who probably should be paid in her weight in gold. So shout out. That's my what's good. What's good? She good.
I love that story.
Yeah, she's great.
I love that story so very much. I also feel like when you win your Oscar, if you don't redo this,
I'm not gonna thank Josh. I'm gonna thank Marguerite. Some people are like, I gotta thank my spouse. I gotta thank my kids. Gotta thank God. I'm like, yo, Marguerite Lambert. Okay?
I gotta thank my after-school teacher. You the real hero.
I mean, it really was like a course correct. She like put me on the right course at a young age.
That's sweet. No, I think it's really like the people in our lives as educators. I don't think, like you said, educators don't get paid enough.
No.
And I think there are certain people, like I could think of, like teachers and coaches and stuff like that, from that very formidable age. I think that's the right word.
Yeah.
That just leave a mark in our life forever. So I love that. Yeah. What's good, Marguerite?
What's good?
Love that.
What's yours, JG?
So I told you this maybe a few weeks ago. I saw this thing. I saw it again. This morning. I changed my what's good. I'm gonna have to save my what's good that I originally was gonna shout out for next recording. The what's good I saw this morning was so the gym that I go to, across the little alleyway, there's like a protein shake bar. Yes, I saw it again.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited.
So there's a little protein shake bar. It's a little small business. So the guy makes shakes in front of the store. It has like a very tiki hut vibe to it, right? I'm already into that. Every day, I guess, I've seen this twice, but I'm assuming this happens every day. A squirrel is like approaching him as he's like carrying things from inside to out. And the squirrel's like on all fours and he's very like slow. And the guy sees the squirrel. He turns inside. He comes out with a little treat, granola, I'm assuming, gives it to the squirrel. The squirrel takes the treat, turns, nom 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 on the treat.
I love this so much.
And then he turns back to this guy. This has happened twice. He turns back to the guy, stands up on his hind legs as if to say compliments to the chef. And then he just leaves. And I'm like, I'm looking at it. I'm so like this. I'm so wowed by this. And it's such a whimsical, like Disney moment. Like I forget to record it on my phone. Like, you know how everything is like, we're filming everything now. Yeah. I'm just sort of like, this is so beautiful. The guy, like, he knew I watched him the first time, and like I guess he remembered that I was like just staring. He was like, it's pretty cool, right? And I was like, heck yeah. Like sometimes life, and like there's a lot of just, you know, the world is like heavy at times, but sometimes life just gives you like a treat.
Yeah.
That says like, it's gonna be okay.
That's such a beautiful moment to witness, and to witness it more than once. Like, this is just an everyday occurrence for this guy? What a brilliant world he lives in.
Right. Like, I wonder if he gets worried when the squirrel doesn't show up.
Oh.
Or does the squirrel understand like weekends? They may not open at the same time. Or does the squirrel understand like what daylight savings time is like? Like, do they have that thing? Oh, man, I don't know. Also, what do the other squirrels in the community feel about him getting this?
He's got to be like a celebrity squirrel. Like everyone else is like, oh yeah, that's his red carpet appearance. He's like the Brad Pitt of squirrels. You know what I mean? Like he comes back into the community. He's like, num, 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 just had me my granola. They're like, oh my gosh, she's so dreamy.
Yes, I love that. Also, I will like to throw an alternative solution is maybe the squirrel is unhoused. All the other squirrels are like, we're fine. And he's like, this is the only time during the week I eat.
You know what? I mean, then kudos to this guy for making opportunities for everyone to get what they need. And also, I just love that he turns back and is like, you did it again.
He turns back. He turned back to him. Man, I loved it so much. So that's my what's good. Like just humans and animals connecting, I guess.
It's brilliant.
Yeah. I don't know. I love it to watch it so much. We're coming up into a very like also I think kind of warm and fuzzy time of the year. We just had Halloween a couple weeks ago, and now we're right into the middle of Thanksgiving season.
I know we go from like spooky to like now let's all settle in and love each other. It's a nice transition.
My question to you, Aisha, because Canada has done such a better job than America. I mean, America has done the bare minimum. And
wait, what are we talking about? Better job
acknowledging, acknowledging. Canada has done a better job of acknowledging the fact that the land that they being mostly, you know, Anglo-Saxon or maybe non-indigenous people, run their businesses live in, or right now once belonged to indigenous people.
I mean, I would challenge that and say I don't think Canada's done a very good job, if I'm honest.
Well, I won't say good job. I said better job.
Okay.
Better job.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know.
I mean, I think just because when I was in Toronto, I went to like the Blue Jays game, and someone told me this is a thing that happens at a lot of public events where they will make an announcement that we acknowledge that this was indigenous land before. Like that's way over and beyond than anything that would happen here in the U.S.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I guess like
people talk, they start off with like we acknowledge this is treaty land, and yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So I'm wondering. I mean, and maybe in the spirit of trying to like find a place to come back and say Thanksgiving, like, does Canada also has a different day that they celebrate Thanksgiving?
We have Canadian Thanksgiving, which is so weird because Americans are like, what? It's ours, and you just put it on a different day. I was like, yeah, I think it's like a slightly different celebration. I think it's more like about like being like, oh, we didn't die. Yay! Like we have a bountiful feast in the harvest because Canada is so cold in many places during winter. But yes, ours is the first weekend in October. I believe it's the first weekend in October. And it's like people either celebrate on Sunday or on Monday. And it's similar where you have like your family over, your friends over, you cook a turkey. People cook ham sometimes. And you have all the fixins and stuffing, which is also called dressing for some places in Canada. And then, and you kind of like celebrate. And people, I guess, like watch football and stuff.
Yeah, what do you guys watch in Canada? Because American football is not like a big thing there.
No, I mean, well, it is. People watch it, but it's like, it's not, people will watch American football.
Oh, they'll watch like the Lions versus the Bears or whatever. Yeah.
Because we have the CFL, but it's not as like people here. It's almost like a religion. Their teams. Canada's just smaller as far as population. We're a huge, huge country with very few people. And so we just don't have as much, I guess, like diehard passion sometimes about like Thanksgiving watching a football game or like playing like whatever. It's just kind of like we're all going to get together and give thanks and that kind of thing. It's not as there's not as many bodies behind everything, I guess.
Sure. Did your family, like the Alphas, did you guys have like specific boxing? No, wait a minute. What's your Thanksgiving called?
Thanksgiving.
Is it called Thanksgiving? I'm getting Boxing Day confused. Did you guys have specific Thanksgiving traditions?
No, just eating a turkey.
You're just like, get up, it's a normal day, someone's cooking, and at some point you're like,
pretty much. It's really just about the meal, I think. Like one time I insisted we have Cornish hens and it was wild. Ooh. But no, it's really just about like cooking a meal, eating it together. That's it. It's not like a huge, like people wouldn't travel home necessarily for Thanksgiving in Canada. You would travel home for like December for like, Christmas or Hanukkah or whatever.
Right. Well, what about the cooking aspect of it? Cornish hens, like now is it like, okay, well, we are going to kind of come together and we're going to cook as a family if that's not your traditional thing, or is it still just kind of like whoever the person that normally cooks and everyone else is just sort of like scratching their belly?
Whoever cooks in the household just cooks a bigger meal.
Just cooks a bigger meal.
Instead of
just more work,
spaghetti and meatballs, they have to like make like 17 different side dishes plus a turkey and make pie and like, you know what I mean? And while everyone else sits around, like it's just
that episode. I'm not sure if you've seen it yet, or if we're supposed to be talking about this. I think I can talk about it. The episode of The Bear on the second season where the mom is just like panicking, trying to cook everything for everyone, even though people are trying to help her. Okay. Well, Cornish hens. How did that turn out?
Brilliantly. I mean, as a child, I was very like, I have an idea. Let's do this new thing. And my family was not like big on, they weren't huge on traditions. So they were like, all right, whatever. And then I would like go shopping with my mom to be like, and this, but then be like, now cook the food, woman.
Right. Like, cook for us. Did, as a kid, did like the school systems in Canada, did you guys have to do any sort of Thanksgiving plays?
No.
I like this. Yeah.
Well, let me tell you about Thanksgiving in Canada. Okay.
Aisha, for people who are only listening to the podcast, Aisha has gone in full comfort mode where she's leaned back, her hands behind her head as if she has just finished her Thanksgiving meal and has unbuttoned the top button on her pants.
Yeah. I'm ready to take my nap. No, the big thing I remember as kids is we would do the turkey, trace your hand turkey. You guys did that?
Yep.
You trace your hand on the copper puppet, and then you make the hand like multiple different colors and make a turkey out of that. And then I don't know what it was, but we would always have to make a cornucopia. You know, like the big, like kind of horn-shaped thing with all the bountiful feast falling out, the harvest falling out. But I was always, my memory is that I never understood. First of all, you even how to say the word cornucopia.
You just did a good job, by the way.
Thank you. Been practicing.
Yeah. Give it. Shout out to. I already forgot her name.
Marguerite.
Marguerite. I almost called her Marietta, but that's a city in Georgia.
I was like, it's a weird thing to teach kids. Like, I don't really remember any message of anything, but I do remember cornucopia, having to like color it in, having to cut around it, not knowing what a cornucopia was, probably calling it a copapopia. And then like, that was it. Then you ate some turkey.
A cornucopia.
Yeah. I'm like, is this Italian? Is it a nice Italian restaurant? Is it a nice Italian dish? What is that? And like, there was really, we didn't talk about anything about what it was or what it meant is in my recollection of it.
Beyond just the idea of like, this is a time that we give thanks.
Yeah. Like, I feel like even that, we weren't really like, oh, it's important to be thankful and grateful. It was just like, all right, kid, all right, cut out that cornucopia. Everybody shut up for a while. Teacher's a bit hungover. Okay.
Hey. Just go over there and trace your hand. I'm going to take a little nap.
Yeah. like what? What are we even doing? We're making a turkey for what?
Also, I'm so concerned that your teachers are smoking.
I know. Back in the day, like, I feel like at my school, they might have been. Like, the school I went to at first, I'm sure the teachers smoked. I would do it.
How is so the turkey, it's interesting that turkeys are
they're universal.
A staple.
Thankful.
Say that again?
They're like universal for this for some reason. Like,
why I mean, again, like, I'm thinking about how other countries celebrate it, and other countries probably celebrate it. I won't say Canada. Yeah.
I don't think other countries have Thanksgiving.
Well, not as a country, but like if you live in, let's say, Brazil, and you decide you're going to do something for Thanksgiving, it's probably because of the influence of someone from North America.
Yeah, like, I think this is a very North American thing to think that everyone has the same holidays. Thanksgiving doesn't exist outside of North America.
Right. No, I'm saying like if you lived in Brazil.
Like if I moved and I was like, I want to make
Thanksgiving. Or like maybe people in Korea, you're like, hey, let's do Thanksgiving, and then you leave. Some of them might have been like, that was kind of cool. Let's keep doing it.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. But this is my question now. Aisha's like, no, every country does it. I'm like,
it's only us in our weird North American little bubble.
I was like, oh, no, I have a totally different question. So like turkeys, like the turkey, I think at one point, I'm not a historian, so I may be wrong about this, but I think at one point the turkey in the U.S. was up to be the national bird.
Oh, okay.
Like it was it was like eagles or turkeys. Which one do we want to be the national bird? So I find it interesting that Canada.
My gosh, you guys made the right choice. Eagles versus turkeys. Are you kidding me? Eagles are like so beautiful. They soar through the sky. They're massive. They like look so regal. Turkeys are just wandering around. Like they're just horrible animals. They're
like an American, just waddling around all the time. It's the perfect depiction of us. You know how many actual eagles Americans there are? None. It's like Josh and no one else.
Barack Obama.
Yeah, Josh. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
He's in that list.
And everybody else is a fucking eagle or a turkey.
Just shaking their little thing at the bottom, whatever that is. Oh gosh. That's the best description of like how the rest of the world sees America.
America. Also, you got to think maybe that what if it was reversed though? What if like we said as America back in the day, Benjamin Franklin I think was the person who was trying to get turkeys to be the national bird. What if turkeys were our eagles and eagles were our turkeys? So every Thanksgiving we're like trying to capture eagles.
An eagle.
climbing on a mountain. You're like, oh, if we don't catch it, we don't eat, I guess. Again.
The eagle's just like, these silly humans think they can catch us. Whoa! They just like take off. I feel like they're so regal.
They're pretty regal bird. They seem regal. I haven't spoken to one. I don't know how they feel about themselves.
What if they're just idiots? They're like the idiots of the bird world. We just think they look beautiful.
Yeah, I mean, listen, again, we can compare that to human beings. There's a lot of dumb, beautiful looking people out there.
It's true.
Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. I'm kidding. Yeah, okay, so
I aspire sometimes to be a dumb, beautiful human. Make me more beautiful. I'll lose some brain cells. Brain cells.
There's something to be said about being able to float through life without really having to think about it.
Yeah. Wouldn't that just be a joy? Like just being so naive, but people let you have things for free. They open doors for you literally and figuratively. Like, I'm not saying I don't want to be intelligent and I don't want to be smart or like critical thinking and stuff, but sometimes I'm like, can I just have a week-long break where like someone makes me beautiful for like a week and I don't have to think about it?
You don't have to think about it. Yeah. I think, and I also do think, that some of the, I mean, especially when we're thinking about like celebrities or well-known people, some of the more beautiful people are very intelligent, but they know how to play the game too.
Yeah.
But okay, here's my last question about your Thanksgiving experience. What's your favorite Thanksgiving dish?
Okay, so this is going to be a very unpopular thing. Okay, we make my family. We make turkey. We make mashed potatoes, gravy. Usually my mom makes corn and forgets it in the microwave, so we don't eat it. It just gets forgotten. Okay.
Wait a minute. She makes corn in the microwave?
I know, from frozen corn in a dish. She throws that in the microwave, and then we forget about it.
Is everything else made from frozen, or is everything fresh?
Everything else is made from scratch. But corn, it's just like the niblets of corn. She puts. This happens almost every single year.
I don't even like corn. I don't know why that offended me.
I love corn. I'm always disappointed when we don't get the corn. We remember the next morning when we're trying to warm something up in the microwave, and there's a whole dish of corn in there. Anyway,
I remember you made corn one time when I came over. You're like, you're not going to eat any corn. I was like, I don't really like corn.
I love corn. I love it. But my favorite dish, my mom, and this is going to be a very unpopular, perspective. My mom made Brussels sprouts always when I was a kid.
Okay.
And like as a kid, I didn't really love meat, but I loved every single vegetable. Give me a raw onion, I would eat it. Okay. I loved vegetables. Yeah. So my mom though grew up on a farm back in the day. She used to make Brussels sprouts, but she would boil Brussels sprouts until they were like almost to the point where like a baby could mush them. And then she makes this kind of like, I don't know what's in it. It's not good for you, but this cheese sauce and like, I think it's like, cheddar cheese, cream, a bunch of butter. Like it's so delicious. And then she just pours it over top of the whole dish of these boiled Brussels sprouts.
Oh.
And it's like, I think it's like every kid's nightmare of what Brussels sprouts is. And it's my absolute dream. I used to take the next morning, I would put that into a bowl, mash it up and have like Brussels sprouts mush, like Brussels sprouts and cheese mush.
Interesting.
And when I look at it, I'm like, that is not a delectable dish, but it's one of my favorite. Like one year she didn't make them and I was like, what the hell is this, Michelle?
Right.
Where's my mush? Where's my old person, cabbagey stink, cheesy mush?
Did it have a specific name? Like Brussels and cheese. Brussels and cheese.
Brussels and cheese. I want it to be called. I'm going to call it that from now on. Brussels and cheese.
Brussels and cheese. Yeah.
It's like mac and cheese, but just worse and delicious.
That's interesting. So you liked as a child boiled Brussels sprouts?
Yeah. I was like, I feel like I have the appetite of like a Depression era like child. I was like, just any kind of food.
Can I have some cabbage, please?
Yeah, like that's my appetite as a child.
You're like, oh, we have a beet on the table, I see.
Eyes wide. Oh, who's going to get a piece of that beet?
Whose birthday is it?
It's the birthday beet.
Yes, I love that.
I used to not eat meat. I would cut off the fat of meat and just eat the fat and give all the meat to my brother. And I would eat fat and mushy Brussels sprouts.
Yeah. So, that's
salt. just want to.
I think I think boiled Brussels sprouts as a child, and I've heard several people say this, so I'm interested. And our listeners, sometimes we get to have food debates. Our listeners love it, but I'm interested how many people love boiled Brussels sprouts because they were like slimy and kind of gross textury. But as an adult, I love roasted Brussels sprouts.
I mean, roasted Brussels sprouts are like having a moment where they're at every cool gastro pub. Like everyone has roasted Brussels sprouts.
Put a little balsamic, little vinegar. Yeah, so good.
And I'm like, all right, that's delicious. It's crispy, whatever. But like, you're not a real Brussels sprouts fan unless you're eating them boiled, okay?
with some kind of cheese sauce.
Yeah, some sort of like radioactive cheese sauce. Like that's half plastic, probably. If you're not eating them like that, I don't respect you as a Brussels sprouts eater. Just saying.
All right, well, that's fair.
What's your go ahead.
Well, I know I said I had one. I have one more question. If you would, because now you're doing Thanksgiving dinners with Josh and his family, so you're getting probably a more traditional American Thanksgiving. Would you say there's like big differences? Like Josh's family is also, I think, probably unique in the sense that they are big on family time and stuff like that. So like, what are some like? Are there major sort of like, oh, that's different and that's enjoyable, or that's like kind of like my Brussels sprouts?
I mean, I do miss my Brussels sprouts. It's Brussels and cheese. But here's the thing I'm going to say, and I don't know if Josh's family listens to this or not, but
yeah, don't say anything that's going to get you in trouble. Thanksgiving is in 2 weeks.
No, here's the thing, and I think that this is not shade on them. His family doesn't really care about food like my family.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's not.
You know what I mean? Like my family, my dad, like he obsesses about new recipes. He revels in trying new things. Like he makes like rich foods that take like 3 days to prepare. Like it's a big thing having a meal at my family's house. Because now my dad has taken out. He loves to cook, and my mom also loves to cook. So now we have like all these like shit. Like it's wonderful.
So you're getting like they're both in the kitchen. You're getting these like different like food fusions and energy, and yeah, that's fun. Yeah, he's
like a scientist when it comes to experimenting with food. Like it's amazing. Yes,
testing. Yeah,
and Josh's family is not like that. Where like the food is sort of like their thing. Like you said, their thing is family time. So they're like, we'll spend time together. Oh yeah, we're gonna have a meal. And I'm like, so do you guys mind if I cook the meal? Like I really want to like get in the kitchen and do it. And oftentimes like, no, it's fine. And the last 2 years, they've gotten a turkey.
Okay. You're like, I'm going to tell a secret.
That is pre-cooked.
Okay.
But comes in a vacuum sealed bag. And they cut this bag and schlippity schlop.
Oh, it's like pre-cooked.
Pre-cooked onto a pan. And then they stick that in the oven for like a few minutes to like make it not look like, you know, it's like
let me ask you this though.
Turkey.
Let me ask you this about this. I have questions about this pre-cooked turkey.
Mm-hmm.
Is it a Popeye's Cajun pre-cooked turkey?
Come on. We've met. I mean, I'm not gonna say the trope of like, you know, why people don't spice their food, but
it's just
a turkey that has been put in an oven and then put in like a brine and put into a bag.
It's a turkey that every year, so 2023, you know when they do the turkey presidential pardoning of the turkey? They are like, oh, do you not know about this?
The president, they pardon a turkey?
Every year a turkey gets pardoned.
But what do you mean pardon? Like it did like some crime? Like it was like selling drugs? It was, instead of having stuffing in it, it was like had cocaine and it was like trying to cross the border and it was like, we've pardoned you now and we're going to
every year from as far back as I can remember. I don't know how far back this goes in history, but every president goes out on the presidential garden lawn, whatever, and there's a turkey and the president pardons it from being killed for Thanksgiving dinner. Which is hilarious if you think about it.
This is like reverse Hunger Games.
It's like reverse Hunger Games. You're like, yo, if you're going to pardon someone, let's go to the actual prison system and pardon someone who maybe didn't commit a real crime. Like, let's not do this thing as a metaphor of what you should be doing.
Gosh, we'll spare you, foul bird. You're like, there's like a bunch of like black dudes sitting in prison for crimes for you having marijuana, which is now legal.
Legal like, and right, yeah. Yeah. Pardon my cousin Terrence.
Right? Free Terrence. There's like turkeys with free Terrence signs. They're like going to give their lives for Terrence.
Right. Real Terrences matter. Yeah. So that's okay. So I'm not gonna be able to beat that riff we just did. I was gonna say they instead of partying a turkey, they're like you're the turkey for next year, and they put them in a bag and they dig a hole, they drop them in the hole, and they don't cook it. They just like out of the dirt. It's warm enough. Let's throw it in the oven.
Like, this is the thing. This is a turkey that you could probably just eat out of the bag, but it looks so disgusting. And this is, I have a hard time with it because I'm like, I'll just be in the kitchen. I'll just cook. Right. I'll cook the turkey, guys. We don't have to do this. But they just like the convenience of it. And
do you have other, I know you said like you're okay just eating vegetables, but do they have any other meat options? So you can skip
they're not a big
the turkey?
meat family.
Right.
Some of them are vegetarian.
Right. I just like the idea of you sneaking your own little meat.
Yeah, just like I got a little steak. Yeah, it's nuts. It's like, I don't know. I'm like, I think for me, this is one of the reasons why I would really love to be able to host Thanksgiving or Christmas because I love cooking a big feast. That's like my jam. I want everyone to leave the house so I have the full day to cook. And I want to have like 5 different side dishes. I want to have 2 desserts. I'll make like a whole turkey. Even though I don't eat ham, I'll make you a ham. Like a cool, interesting ham, you know? But like, that's important to me. That's what I feel like all these holidays really are about is like coming together with eating. Time out. Go for it.
What does a cool, interesting ham look like?
Like, it's got a pair of earrings on, okay? It's, like, looking good. I just mean, like, you know, people are like, I'm going to cook a ham. They're going to be like, okay, we're going to put some, what are they, like, not nutmeg, but the, what is it
cinnamon?
called? Like, yeah, maybe cinnamon and, like, whatever. But, I mean, that's fine. But I'm going to do something different. Like, when I make a turkey, I, like, make a special butter and herb rub that I get underneath the skin and massage into the turkey. Okay. I, like, do a different kind of, like, seasoning, different ears, all that kind of stuff. Yeah. I'm a tuki masusa turkey.
Look at this turkey. You kind of tense, turkey. You need to relax. Let me get in there.
Relax you so you can get into this hot sauna. No, it's not an oven. It's a sauna. You're fine. Come on.
You're like, turkey, I'm going to leave the room for a little bit. You just get dressed to your level of comfort. Yeah. Come back, the turkey's naked. You're like, okay,
how's the pressure, turkey? How's that pressure? Yeah. The turkey asks for like an HJ at the end. I'm like, I'm not that kind of turkey masseuse.
The turkey thinks he's getting a deep tissue massage, but you have like a massage gun. You're like, turkey's like, I wanted human contact.
I just needed a hug.
Yeah, now we're talking about my massage experiences.
What's your like experience of Thanksgiving and food and like all of that around? Because I mean, American Thanksgiving is probably one of the most important holidays here, I feel like.
Yeah, so I have sort of 2. I have like what I would consider like my childhood up to a certain age of college, and then kind of Thanksgiving as an adult. Thanksgiving growing up was 100% that. Family, everyone, cousins you don't even know are going to show up at your big mama's house. That's what we call my grandmother, or my other granny, which is my mom's mom. And yeah, we're going to grub. Like there's going to be home. People are making pans worth of souffles and souffles and dressings and everything's like, you know, they're like, we mostly would spend holidays with my mom's side of the family. And what I will say is that my Aunt Winnie throws down.
Ooh, tell me about it.
Throws down. My Aunt Winnie and then my cousin, which is her daughter, Shauna, like the thing that I always request when I go home is mac and cheese. Make me some homemade mac and cheese. Black people mac and cheese. Magic mac and cheese. Not that box nonsense.
I mean, I do love a good box mac and cheese, but I love a black people mac and cheese.
Well, here's the thing. My aunt, not to give away her secret, she can make black people's mac and cheese with box mac and cheese.
Now
she'll make the black mac and cheese, and then she'll mix the box stuff in it to make it even more magical. So, yeah, I mean, that's my experience. And yeah, like you have a meal, and I think we talked about on a couple podcasts ago where my boss came because she wanted to have a real black Thanksgiving. Yeah. And, you know, all the fixins, collard greens, sweet potatoes, yams, like all the pies. And you get your food. Now that my grandmother's home, is a little bit smaller than where she lived when we were going earlier. But like, you get your food and you go, you find a room with a TV and you eat while you watch the game, and that's kind of the epitome of it. I have always had like this vision for my own family one day to do some of the other traditions, whether it's play football in the backyard or stuff like that. Like, we don't do that. But
Josh's family has a whole, like, a running football game that's been going on called the Turkey Bowl for like, I don't know, like 30 years or something.
Yeah.
And they play against other families and stuff. I love that part of it. That's really cool.
Yeah, I think like that would be fun to if that was like our thing our family enjoyed, which it wasn't. So yeah, I don't really remember. It doesn't have to be football. Could you go play a game of golf or whatever? Not to say that the women have to cook, but whoever wants to cook. Like, if you want to cook, you want to stay.
Oh, I see. Do that while someone's cooking, kind of.
Yeah, like if you want to socialize. I mean, I guess I'm only saying that because you were like, you guys leave, I'll cook.
Oh yeah.
Like, send them out.
I also want to go play football.
Okay. Well. Okay.
I want the football game to be after. I want the football to happen after we eat. But also, I'm happy to eat at like 2 p.m, and then we play a bit of football.
I'm trying to remember, what time do we eat? I think that's when we do eat. We don't have like a dinner. Yeah. I think we eat a little bit earlier. We kind of eat when the food's ready and most of the people are there. And then as the day goes on, you kind of just
keep eating.
You eat a little bit, you take a nap. You eat a little bit, you take a nap.
I love that.
That's sort of the childhood. And yeah, similar to you, like a lot of the school stuff. And like I mentioned, top of the show, yeah, we did have like this very specific Pilgrim Indian type of stuff that we do not approve of. But as an adult, here's what I'll say.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I'm going home for this Thanksgiving. This is not the official rant. But when I lived in Florida, I moved to Florida for one of my first official jobs out of college. And one Thanksgiving, I think I couldn't afford to go home. So I stayed. And me and my roommate at the time, Jarrett, I'll just say Jarrett, yeah. Jarrett, I'm talking about you. And some coworkers I think we went to like a sports bar, like, because it was like the saddest version of Thanksgiving. Let's just go to a sports bar and eat their Thanksgiving, whatever. But we had so much fun that night. And I can't tell you all the nonsense that we got into. But after that, I had for 7 years running, up until COVID year, a very specific Thanksgiving tradition where I would host an orphan Thanksgiving. Because a lot of that time I was living in Chicago. So I would just be like, who's here? Who doesn't have family? Come to my house. I'm going to prepare a meal. It's going to be good. And afterwards, we are all going to go to the club and make it rain. And can I tell you, the club where you make it rain at on Thanksgiving is pretty sad until you show up with like 15 people and you make it fun. And it is the most fun.
Now, let's just be clear. Are we talking about a strip club?
We're talking about a strip club.
Thank you. Okay, I just wanted to make sure. I just want to make sure we're both on the same page and we're talking about the same thing.
I was trying to talk around it.
You're trying to. I know.
I was trying to talk around it.
I just needed clarity.
And Aisha's just like, I don't care
with the
about
naked lady.
I don't care about our listeners.
Just our
yeah. We're at a strip club, and it is so much fun because, first of all, at the strip club on Thanksgiving is not like the top dancers.
Of course,
it's like the B team.
They're on vacation.
Yeah, they're with their families who love them. It's the people who are like, I have to make money tonight, and they're so thankful. And usually, when I go with my friends and like Thanksgiving, usually it was like the time is like mixed group, men and women. We're just going to have fun. We're not here to do what most people think people do at strip clubs. And they're like, you guys are amazing because you're here. You want to have fun. Yeah. Jonathan, no, you can't get on the stage. It's okay, but like you're tipping.
You're trying to twerk. It's
and I'm like, it's Thanksgiving. Where's my birthday beat at? Get it? Beat music. Okay.
I love it. Good.
And so that's been Thanksgiving as an adult until COVID, clearly. And then tried to bring it back the last couple of years, but COVID's been a little sketchy. But I have been able to have friends over, and we do like karaoke at my apartment and stuff like that. I love a good orphan Thanksgiving.
I love a friend's Thanksgiving.
Yes.
Friendsgiving. Because I love cooking a feast. And it's tougher with kids because like either have to wait till they're sleeping to have people over or whatever. But the last time I did a Thanksgiving for people whose families weren't there, it was when I lived in Toronto. And I lived in this tiny little decrepit home with like 1 million people in it. And I was like, hey guys, do you guys want to have like a Thanksgiving? We can invite a few people over. And they're like, yeah. And I was like, great. I'll cook like some food. And I was like, everyone can just like maybe bring a side or something or like commit to a side. And then like closer to, I was like, okay, cool. So like, do you want to like assign like who's getting what side? Like I'm thinking maybe, and I like gave one room and I'm like, maybe you can do like some kind of dessert or like get a thing of ice cream or whatever. And there's like 3 of them. One's like, I'm going to go home now. So she's like, okay, cool. So she was out. And then the other 2 were like so mad that I was like, can you bring something? And they were so mad that they're like, we're not going to make whatever you tell us to make. I'm like, I'm not telling you what to make. I'm just saying like, maybe we can like, you know. And I was like, I'm making turkey, I'm making mashed potatoes, and I'm going to make like one other like vegetable side. And I just wanted them to bring like, make a salad and like bring a dessert. And they got like weirdly offended. And they were like, we're not coming then. And I was like, okay, cool. So I had like 3 of my other friends over and I cooked a fucking feast. Like I like laid out everything. And then these 2 roommates came from their rooms and they're like, oh, this looks amazing. I was like, yeah, but guess you better get going though, because dinner's about to be served. Like, get out. Because I think that they thought like I wasn't going to be making like a full on feast. They were just like, oh, so we have to bring stuff. And you like, I thought you were like inviting us to a thing. But I was so mad because I was like, this whole thing is about like creating community and like, let's eat together. And I'm asking you to make like the easiest 2 things. I'm going to literally spend the money, take all the time and make all the big things. And they were like, they went to like some pub and had like their Thanksgiving dinner, which was like crappy. And they came back all like, oh, I wish we would have just stayed. And I was like, I wish you guys weren't jerk faces. And like, that would have been fun. But
had they never experienced like a Friendsgiving before?
I don't think so. And I think that they were like really young. And I think that they were just used to like their moms making a spread and they show up with their friends to the spread and then they all get fed. So I was like, I'm not your mom though. I'm like your roommate.
The easiest, are these, so I have these roommates, men or women?
Women.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Because that sounds like such a dude move. In that situation, young Jonathan is like, cool, I'll bring the rolls. Like,
totally.
Let me just go buy some rolls from the grocery store. $3, I'm good.
I think that what happens is like if they were dudes, they would just be like, oh, okay, I'll just do whatever I'm told because someone's making me food.
Right.
Right. So they would have showed up with rolls or with like
soda
or chips or whatever.
Pop, yeah. Mm-hmm.
But like, I think these people were like
pizza.
Yeah, like, come with something.
Thanksgiving pizza, right?
We'll stuff it in the turkey. Yeah, but like, I just think it was they felt very like, you're not the boss of me. And I was like, I'm not trying to be bossy. I just want to make a feast.
Okay, on this episode, we're doing something new. We've never done this before. Aisha.
Yeah, usually we do Aisha rants while Josh. Oh my gosh.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Also, you guys share the same initials, and I always call you JG, and Josh is like, I'm also JG. I'm like, no, you're not. Anyway, usually it happens that we have an Aisha rant while Jonathan goes to the potty, and today we're changing it up
because my bladder is doing fine.
So we're going to do a joint rant where we're going to both rant and we're both going to be here.
Yeah. Do you want me to rant first?
You go for it. You start.
I'll go first. I'm the newbie here. I've never ranted before. So you can critique me at the end. Okay. So this is my Thanksgiving rant. I am going home this year for Thanksgiving. It's been a very long time since I've been there. My mom especially is so excited. She will not stop texting me.
I love your mom.
She wants to know, what do I want to eat? She's going grocery shopping. We're still 3 weeks out. She's already shopping for just food for me to have. Here's my rant, though. I have sort of a hybrid rant. My first rant is, I hate when you go back for family meetings. Meetings? Go back for family gatherings?
Like holidays? Or
yeah.
Gatherings?
You know, sometimes when they call a holiday gathering, I hate it when you have to like then be prepared for family photos. Like my mom is like, we're taking family pictures, have it like a nice suit. I'm like, a suit? Are you kidding me?
And not just a suit, a nice suit.
A nice suit. Aisha, you know me more than anyone. My mother should know me.
Hoodie.
Mm-hmm. I'm coming comfortable. T-shirts, sweatpants. I'm hanging out. I'm not trying to get dressed up to take family photos. We know what each other looks like. Who are these pictures for? We're adults. What are we doing?
Maybe you should come looking different. Like maybe you should get a weave put in.
I was thinking about getting my hair cut.
Shave fully. I know, make it longer, Jonathan.
I can't make it longer. You're right, okay. I can't.
Get like a weave put in, get some box braids or something.
Yeah, I should get braided up. So that's the first part of my rant. And the second part is there are certain things that people in your family shouldn't be allowed to cook. I love my mom. Mother, if you get to this part of the podcast, just know that I still have love for you. But my mom is not allowed to make the dressing anymore.
Oh, why? Tell me why.
There was one year where it was dry as fuck. And I was just like, can you not do this again? And she did not like me saying that at all.
Of course not. She just slaved over a hot oven all day long. You're like, too dry.
Try it again. Slave. It was her choice. All right, come on.
Okay.
But no, there are certain things certain members of your family should be able to make. We know you make that good. Keep making it good. If it's not good, make it better or turn it over. Turn it over to someone who knows what they're doing.
Yes.
And we don't have to switch it up every time. I love the fact that you said your dad's a chemist and he's trying to figure things out. But once you figured it out, that's what I want. I'm getting this once a year.
You want it.
Let's
go. Once you get it to the peak, then you got to stop.
Once it's there
to that same level. That's true. I do have a question about the what do you call it? Stuffing, dressing?
We call it dressing in my home, but I think some people it's kind of interchangeable.
Does she make it in the bird or out the bird?
She makes it out of the bird. She makes it out. Yeah, we don't put it in the bird.
Yeah, if you want a really succulent, I hate the word, but moist dressing, you got to stuff that bird. It takes longer to cook the bird, but it's so much more delicious.
Here's what I will say about my mom. God bless her. There are definitely ways to make it is a gross word, moist dressing outside of the bird. So, if you want to go in bird, out bird, that's your choice. But my mom sometimes will say, how do I make the healthy version of this?
Oh, no.
Which is you've taken all the joy out of it.
Yeah.
So
here's how you make the healthy version. You make it once a year and you make it good.
Yeah.
And you don't eat like that every day.
Also, butter. Come on.
Yeah. Butter makes everything better.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. You gotta know your lane. Know your lane. Stick in your lane.
Stay in your lane for sure.
Stay in your lane. Okay. Any more rant?
I'm done ranting.
Okay.
How did as a first time ranter? How did I do?
I feel like you could have been a lot more ranty. Like you were very lovely about your rant.
Okay.
I get.
Show us how it's done.
I'm about to burn some bridges down right here.
Oh, okay.
I'm about to burn some bridges. All right, now James, I don't know. I mean, you're going to listen to this. I don't know if you're going to try and slice things together because I already started this rant. I'm going to start this from the beginning again.
Yeah.
Okay. Because we need from the top. Now, like I said, I'm going to burn some big old bridges here because I know I'm going to get hate mail. I know people are not going to like what I have to say.
Ooh.
But my rant is WTF is everyone thinking making pumpkin pie the official dessert of Thanksgiving? First of all, pumpkin pie should not be served. Okay, it is disgusting. I'm not a huge pie fan to begin with, but pie is supposed to be the crust of pie is not delicious in itself. It's just the thing that's going to hold it together. You should slather it in with delicious fruit. Give me a blueberry pie, give me a strawberry rhubarb pie, or if you're going to change it from that, give me some chocolate. Okay, a chocolate pudding pie. Okay, you need something that's going to be sweet and take you. Pumpkin pie is gross. It's like someone took gelatin and then just was like, we'll throw some spices. We're going to call it pumpkin because we put a few pieces of pumpkin in. It looks like someone threw up in a pie crust and then plopped some whipped cream on top of it and was like, I guess that's good enough. It is the worst dessert for anything I've ever heard. And people go wild about it. And I just don't understand. It's shaky and gelatin. It is not It should not be the thing. Because every Thanksgiving, people are like, oh, we're getting our pumpkin pie. I'm like, what else is there for dessert? What is there for the regular people who have taste buds? I think that the official pie, if you're going to do pie for Thanksgiving, should be pecan pie.
Ooh.
Okay. It's sticky icky. It's delicious. It's got a bit of nutrients because you're getting some nuts. Okay. You're getting your nuts on. That's good for brain health. But like, I just don't, it's just such a disgusting looking pie and it doesn't taste good. So my rant is, can we please move on from pumpkin pie? I'm done.
Can I ask a question about your
Yes.
feelings about pumpkin?
Please.
What are your thoughts on sweet potato pie?
I've never had sweet potato pie.
Never had it. Okay.
I like sweet potatoes. I feel like that would be a much more delicious version. Sweet potatoes are sweet. Pumpkin is delicious as a savory dish. It's like squash. You know, you put some butter on it, you roast it. Yum. You don't put it in a pie. No one's making like potato pie, regular potato pie. No one's making like Brussels sprout pie. You don't use savory in a pie. You use sweet.
Follow-up question. How do you feel about the sort of pumpkin spiciness of fall in general?
Don't like it.
Don't like it. Yeah. I feel like, and apologies if this comes across wrong, I feel like pumpkin pie is white pie. And sweet potato, like in the South, if you were to go to like a white person's house, you would have pumpkin pie. You go to a black person's house, you're having sweet potato pie.
Okay.
I don't know.
I need to try sweet potato pie then.
I don't know where. I'm not personally a big fan. I will eat sweet potato pie. Not a fan of it. My favorite pie of all times, apple pie. My grandmama can make.
So American.
She can throw. She can.
Jonathan is now making love to that apple pie.
On an apple pie.
Not watching.
But
I like it's hilarious because I said making love to it, and you're like making love on the apple pie. Like you invite
Listen.
like a lady over. You're like, look, I want to make sweet love to you, but it's got to happen on this delicious pie.
I'm gonna just lay down some pie. Sometimes I'm gonna eat the. Okay, we're just stop talking, Jonathan.
Yeah,
okay. No, but I'm with you on that. I think pumpkin pie is garbage, and the people who enjoy it are garbage people.
We said it. What? And
I said what I said. Maybe that's a good place to wrap up.
Yes.
I think our November show will be done by the time this goes up. Do you want to talk about Winnipeg?
Yes. We are taking the whip. The A Work in Progress tour is going to Canada. We're going to Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada on February 9th to the iconic Park Theater. It's going to be not only an amazing comedy show featuring Jonathan and I and some local kick-ass comedians, but also we're throwing a party. So we're going to have a dance party afterwards. A party! So the tickets are now officially, actually Friday is when we're officially announcing it, but you guys are getting the inside scoop. This might come out after the Friday, so you guys are getting the outside scoop. But Friday is when we're officially announcing it. February 9th, Winnipeg, Manitoba. Get your tickets early. Get your butt there. It's going to be cold as all outside. It's going to be warm as hell inside.
We're going to bring the heat. The Miami Heat.
Winnipeg.
Jimmy
the
Butler.
basketball team, the Miami Heat, is going to be in attendance.
Right.
So
that's the only Miami Heat player I know right now. Jimmy Butler. I'm excited. I've never been to Winnipeg before. I'm ready to freeze my butt off, but also have fun and meet your peoples.
I know. Winnipeg is a very welcoming place. I'm very excited for you to meet all the people. You're also going to meet Marguerite, who we talked about earlier.
Ooh, what up, Marguerite? What up, girl?
What's good? So, it's going to be, Winnipeg knows how to party. We know how to get inside and get warm and party down. So it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a great show.
Well, I also want to say before we wrap things up, since this is our Thanksgiving episode, and I know you would echo these thoughts, I am so thankful for our listeners, for our family, our friends, people, everyone who has said that they like the show, they're enjoying the show, whether you're a first-time listener or you've been here for, I don't know, what's this, our 10th episode?
Yeah, wow.
Maybe our 10th episode, but I'm so thankful for you guys. And, we love feedback. We love you guys telling us what you like, what you want more of, and, so we can make the show even better for you. So
yeah, we really do love to hear from you. We love to hear your thoughts. We love to hear what you're praying about. Another segment we'll do next time. And if you have any questions for us, please send them along. If there's anything you have rants on, maybe we can include that sometime too.
Or if you wanna say what's good to someone.
Yes,
maybe
you got some good what's goods.
Yeah, let's say this. Okay, we're gonna make it official. We're gonna put like if you have what's good, or if you have rants, or if you have
Questions.
I'd pray about that, advice stuff. We're gonna put opportunities on our website. We'll put some prompts there, and you can fill that information out, and we can talk about it on the air.
And of course,
on the air. We're not radio.
We're on the air.
We are on the air. Live from Cincinnati.
I also want to make sure that I take this time to say how grateful and thankful I am for Jonathan. For you, Jonathan. You are a light in my life. You are one of my best friends in the world. You are someone who my kids still talk about every day. Not every day, but lots of days. They talk about how, you know, like when you do one thing, kids like obsess over that one thing. So I told them that I've gone to get manicure pedicure with you. So whenever my nails or anything are painted, they're like, "Mommy, go with Jonathan to get manicure pedicure." And I was like, "You guys want to come sometime?" They're like, "Yeah, we want to go manicure pedicure with Jonathan." So now you're the manicure pedicure guy.
I'm the mani-pedi guy.
Yeah,
next time, I can't show up with Jello. I got to show up with like little like things for their fingernails.
Yeah, you gotta set it with a hole. You gotta do a manicure pedicure with them. But like, just the fact that like my kids like know and love you is such a beautiful thing. So I'm just like really thankful and grateful. Just for our friendship, but also for all of the stuff that we do together. Because it's like, it helps me be a better person, a more creative person, a more free person. And that's like the most joyful thing anyone can do for somebody else. So thank you.
Well, I also appreciate you. I think you know that. And I love you and I love your family. And I can't wait till we have Josh on as a guest.
Oh my gosh.
I'm so excited for that.
We're going to have so many new followers after that.
Definitely the guy from the matcha shop. He's definitely tuning in.
All the employees are going to be newly followed.
Yeah, but I love you and I'm thankful for you as well. You are a very special person in my life, and we're having dinner later tomorrow. Later today.
Tonight.
Yeah, I'll just continue to heap praises upon you then.
Me too. Let's make it awkward for everyone else.
Yeah, let's make it awkward for the other people there. Okay. But also, let's tell them how thankful we are for them.
Yeah, I'm meeting someone for the first time. I'm like, "I'm so thankful for you in my life." She's gonna be like, too much, Aisha, too much.
All right, well, this has been fun.
Yeah, this is great. Make sure to subscribe, let everyone know about the podcast and about the live shows. We really do appreciate you. We hope to see you. We hope to hear from you. Have a wonderful, wonderful day.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.
With eyes on fire, I'm blinded to the sun.